Denver is a city that likes brunch. It's a very Denver thing to do to get a Victorian home that wouldn't pass a housing inspection if you tried to sell it, convert it into a restaurant because that seemingly is okay, and, just make it a brunch spot. So, like everybody in Denver, I've often participated in brunch shenanigans. So here's one of those stories. One, fine Denver day, sunny and bright and early, I decided to get ripped and go on out to one of these trendy brunch spots. And I was sitting out there by myself with on the outdoor patio, and there's like a group of sorority girls that I can hear talking behind me. And I'm not, trying to listen into their conversation, but also bits and pieces of it kind of pop into my worldview. So I'm sitting there with my CBD latte, and at one point I hear one of the women behind me recounting her night out, and it goes something like this. She says, "And then he told me, 'Girl, I'm going to get all up in that pancreas, and I just don't find that sexy.'" And I had to sit there and keep a straight face and not die from hysterical laughter like I was doing inside. And so I had a lot of thoughts about this exchange while I was sitting there with my mocha. And my first thought was that I really hope that I don't know this particular pancreas-infatuated gentleman. And then I started to think about it more, and I thought, I spend all of my non-work time in gyms of various sorts, and I probably definitely know this guy. So my thought process was that I need to have a conversation with all of my male friends and be like, I don't know what your problem is, but you have a problem and you need to stop. And then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, her friends did her dirty, because none of them burst out laughing at that table, and I'm convinced the only reason that that's true is because they knew that was the pancreas guy that she was getting together with. And so I was like, do y'all have any protective instincts? How are you going to raise a family like this? Jeez, man. You got to be looking out for your girls. And so, I also wanted to therefore have a follow-up with all of my female friends and be like, y'all need to do better as well. So in summary, brunch in Denver is definitely worth having.